Okay, once again, fans, I could not say something about this. I had to say something. However, the sentence works, okay, with the double negatives or the single positives. But once again, pro wrestling fans, I just had to respond because now Mick Foley, of all people, is echoing me, and these wrestlers for years have been echoing me. CM Punk going to AEW echoes me. Brian Danielson going to AEW echoes me. Okay. So, what I would just say, if you haven't seen it, watch it after you watch me. Mick Foley did a video today. I'm not sure in what format, but I watched the video two or three times. I just watched it again. He is calling his video WWE, We Have a Problem. But I noticed that when you actually watch the video, or when I actually watch the video, he doesn't say we have a problem. He says WWE, you have a problem. He's distancing himself. This company that put so much money into his pockets, this company that gave his unhireable son Dewey a job, this company that gave his daughter a reality show of, to be honest, which she did not deserve, and all the wonderful things that have gone on between the Foley and the McMahon family, the levels of trust, throwing him off a cell, probably taking years off his life, comfort from this man's body, his flesh that he's given to this company to be rightly rewarded with so much money and so much fame and world heavyweight championship back when it meant something. Not a television title, not a SmackDown title or a Raw title, but a world title. Back when it meant something. December 28th, I believe, 1998, Worcester, Massachusetts. Look how far we've fallen, huh, Mick? And it's painful for a guy like Mick Foley. It's painful for a guy like Mick Foley who once cared so much. And now he's pinpointing the issues that WWE has. He's pinpointing the carrying cross. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's pinpointing the issues that WWE has. And now apparently there's rumors going around that Kevin Owens might be AEW bound. He might be next. A guy, I mean, talk about start again, stop again, booking, start again, stop again, push is for Kevin Owens. I mean, granted, he did have the Universal title for a while in WWE. I don't think he ever had the Bruno belt. He did do the thing with Jericho, but he was never a favorite of Vinny Jr.'s, was he? Because he didn't have the traditional Lex Luger body or whatever you want to call it. He just wrestled his fucking ass off. And how is he rewarded? Him and Chris Jericho go on second at that WrestleMania after the friendship party they had. You know what I mean? And so just the degradation of the human spirit that is so evident in this World Wrestling Entertainment, the degradation of talent. I mean, do you recall all you Roman Reigns fans who circle its fountain over Roman Reigns? Do you recall Roman Reigns losing to Shane McMahon overseas? Do you recall that? I've heard something about that. Do you recall Roman Reigns being doused with dog food, wet dog food on worldwide television? I mean, how could you not make him a heel after you destroyed him as a babyface? It's just, to me, it's the degradation of these characters. Meanwhile, in AEW, you have things like Dr. Britt Baker getting over, okay, as a heel by herself. You have things like Orange Cassidy, this 170-pound weakling, putting his hands in his pockets, yet he gets over. Because the creativity, the ingenuity, as Jim Ross likes to always quote, listening to their own music, playing their own music, not being a slavish meat puppet, a McMeat puppet, like you have in this horrible, god awful promotion. So there you have it, folks. And Mick Foley being kind, being generous. I don't know if his son Dewey still works for WWE Creative. I mean, he may not after this. But I mean, just even Mick Foley being forced because of his own integrity. Even though he put his hands on Joey Ryan's penis years ago, Mick Foley's scraping up some amount of pride and sadness. I mean, if you watch that video, you can see the sadness in his eyes. He's sad. He's disparaged. And that's what we've come to, folks. World Wrestling Entertainment has made you sad and upset. It's made you cry. And not in a CM Punk is back type of cry, but in a, God, this is pathetic. Why am I watching this crap? That's what it's done. That's what the World Wrestling Entertainment has come to. People are speaking about it in the past tense. Oh, I used to watch that. I used to like that. Now I watch that other stuff. That's what Junior and the Brats have done. Okay? So it's not a joke any goddamn more. I mean, you know, hashtag Raw Protest was never a joke, but some of you thought it was. Well, apparently not, because the ratings have sunk, because more people have wised up to the game a little bit. More people have grown intelligent because of people like myself who lead the blind. More people like myself who speak to the deaf. People like me, okay? So I'll accept your thank yous and your apologies and everything else you have to offer me, because when Mick Foley speaks, you should listen. He has half an ear on his fucking head because he gave the other half to professional wrestling, okay? To the ropes and Vader in Germany. That's what he gave to this thing called professional wrestling. And what does the WWE give to that legacy? Zombies eating Miz and Morrison. Keith Lee wearing a muumuu to the ring. Carrying Cross as the red demolition member. Demolition Cross in red with no scarlet. That's how they repay a gentleman like Mick Foley for all the thumbtacks in his back against Randy Orton, for all the things he suffered through, being thrown off the cell, being backdropped on concrete, being smashed in the head with a chair, all the things, all the atrocities to this man's body. And the WWE treats him, and treats you, more importantly, like an idiot, like a piece of garbage, and they treat their talent like McMeat puppets. So you just pull the little strings on the little meat puppets. You just pull their little strings, and you see them dance. And that's what you do when you support this god-awful company. Meanwhile, you have wonderful things like Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks and Christian Cage and all these people that look, even I would say, I mean, would you think that I would care about a Kenny Omega, a man who wrestled dolls in Japan? You think that I would be motivated to watch him 3 or 4 years ago? Well, it took the extraordinary failure of WWE to get me over to AEW. But now more and more people, the talent are scrambling. Trust me, the talent in that WWE locker room are looking at their contracts. They're looking at every possible out clause they can find. They're looking for a way to get their ass to Jacksonville to be with the cool kids, because they realize that they're on a sinking ship. The Titan Tower, it might as well be the Titanic. They just don't want to be there anymore because they realize it's a shameful place to be. It degrades their spirit. And they don't want to be there anymore. So for all you hardcore WWE loyalists who just, I don't know. I mean, you've got SmackDown coming up. You get to watch your head of the table. You get to watch your Roman Reigns and his drunk cousin show. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you don't find yourself near the venue. If you're going to the show live, wherever it's going to be, just try to get out of the arena before the Usos hit the road. I mean, seriously, how many DUIs are you guys going to get? So there you have it, folks. It's just another day in the life. But now even Mick Foley pinpointing the mishandlement of Karrion Kross and other talents. Mick Foley pinpointing the atrocities of the company that he gave his body and his mind for. I mean, it's just sad. It's really sad that Mick Foley could have to muster up those thoughts in that brain that's been so clouded by chair shots, and that's what he had to say. It just reminds me of when Andre passed away, and that Andre, the Giant, you know what his last worldwide television exposure was? It wasn't for WWE. It's a Clash of Champions. He came home to Georgia. He came home to Atlanta, to TBS. Just like all the wrestlers these days are looking for a new home on TNT. So there you have it, Vinnie Mac. There you have it, H, Paul, Stephanie. Your company is in the toilet because shit goes in the toilet.